Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're unpacking something literally unprecedented. We are going to impartially break down the explosive, newly released financial disclosures that reveal a massive, frankly historic, wealth surge for the sitting U.S. president. This isn't your standard conversation about a presidential salary. We're talking about a highly complex web of digital assets, global real estate, and some seriously high-frequency stock trading. It's a filing that has completely shifted how we talk about politics and personal wealth, so let's jump right in.
Here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the billion-dollar surge, then look at the pivot from skeptic to crypto king, decode those crypto billions, map out the stock trades and AI policies, examine the retail investor reality, and wrap up with the ethics and political fallout.
All right, Section 1, the billion-dollar surge.
So, let's talk about the macro financial picture. $7.7 billion. That is the upper estimate of Donald Trump's net worth as of late 2024. Independent indices estimate his total wealth floating somewhere between $6.6 and $7.7 billion, which is a massive jump. Now, a huge chunk of this, about $5.6 billion, is tied up in the Trump Media and Technology Group, but the portfolio is wildly diverse. You've got traditional real estate like Mar-a-Lago bringing in $75 million alone, plus overseas licensing deals in the Middle East adding another $50 million to the pile. The sheer scale of this is just massive. And to really get a sense of the complexity we're dealing with, you just have to look at the paperwork. We're looking at an active business footprint spanning 927 pages. 927, that's basically the size of a Harry Potter novel. To put that into perspective, former President Barack Obama's disclosure was just 8 pages long. President Joe Biden's was 11 pages. Even the current vice president's is only 17 pages. This 927-page document is just packed with global LLCs and stock tickers, painting a picture of a globally diversified, ongoing business empire operating right alongside the duties of the Oval Office.
Moving right along to Section 2, Skeptic to Crypto King.
Now this is where things get really fascinating, because there's a stark paradox between his harsh anti-crypto stance during his first term and his current status as a crypto billionaire. Remember back in 2019 and 2021, he publicly stated that Bitcoin wasn't money. He warned it was highly volatile, based on thin air, and even called it a scam. But fast forward to the 2024 campaign, and we see a complete 180. He actively courted the crypto lobby, which, by the way, became a massive corporate donor to his campaign, and he explicitly promised to make the U.S. the crypto capital of the world. And well, by the time the 2025 disclosures dropped, he was reporting a staggering $1.4 billion in personal crypto income.
But to really understand where this specific wealth came from, we've got to define a meme coin. Unlike a traditional stock that represents a share in a physical company, or a utility token that actually provides a digital service, a meme coin is basically pure internet hype. Its price is entirely driven by social media, community speculation, and the brand power of the name attached to it, rather than any underlying tangible product.
Which brings us to Section 3, Decoding the Crypto Billions.
So how exactly do digital meme tokens translate into $1.4 billion of reported income? The key takeaway here is that this isn't just from holding standard Bitcoin. This wealth comes from launching proprietary tokens and a decentralized finance platform called World Liberty Financial. The breakdown is wild. $236 million came from the Trump dollar meme coin alone, and another $635 million from Celebration coins. Plus, through World Liberty Financial, which is managed closely with his family and inner circle, they hold a massive 60% equity stake, giving them the right to 75% of the platform's net profits, meaning every time these tokens were bought or sold, royalty fees were quietly flowing right back into the family's businesses.
All right, let's pivot to Section 4, Stock Trades and AI Policies.
Beyond the blockchain, this disclosure reveals some wildly active traditional stock trading happening simultaneously with running the country. Get this, between January 2025 and March 2026, an astonishing 5,185 trades were executed. That averages out to about 80 trades a week, or roughly 15 to 16 trades every single trading day. And it was a heavily bullish strategy. We're looking at over 3,800 buy orders compared to just about 1,300 sell orders. We have literally never seen this level of active market participation from a sitting executive.
Naturally, this level of trading has sparked a lot of debate, particularly around this specific timeline.
Critics are pointing out that major personal investments in tech stocks aligned perfectly with the administration's AI deregulation announcements. According to the records, on July 23rd, maximum investments of up to $5 million each were made into tech giants like Broadcom, Meta, Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, and Nvidia. On that exact same day, the administration released its Artificial Intelligence Action Plan, signaling a major push to deregulate the industry. Over the following weeks, stocks for companies like Apple and Broadcom jumped over 30%. For critics, this timeline represents a deeply concerning potential conflict of interest.
It's also crucial to look at the sheer volume peaking during global crises. Take March 17, 2026, for example. This was a day marked by intense global market volatility and breaking news regarding international war tensions. On this single day alone, the portfolio executed 341 individual trades. It really paints a picture of a portfolio reacting aggressively, in real time, to global events that a sitting president obviously has direct intelligence on and influence over.
Let's look at Section 5, the retail investor reality.
While the portfolio at the top absolutely surged, financial investigators point out that the experience of the average retail investor tells a vastly different story. By June 2026, that proprietary Trump dollar meme coin had crashed by 97% from its peak value. When this coin launched just days before the 2025 inauguration, the hype was astronomical. Within 24 hours, its paper value rocketed to nearly $27 billion. But because it's a meme coin driven by speculation rather than actual utility, the bubble burst incredibly fast. A $1,000 investment on day one was reduced to pocket change a year and a half later.
When you break down the blockchain analytics, you really see the disparity. Roughly 7.5 million retail wallets, so average everyday investors, collectively lost about $2 billion. Meanwhile, fewer than 60 whale wallets, the ones holding massive early supplies of the coin, cashed out at the top and took the majority of the profits. Critics argued this setup mirrors a classic market manipulation tactic. If you're an everyday investor hoping to support the administration, critics say you were likely left holding the bag, while creators and early adopters walked away with a fortune.
Which brings us to our final section, ethics and political fallout.
This unprecedented blend of holding the highest political office while running active global enterprises has triggered a massive ethical fallout. Security agencies have actually raised some serious red flags. They warn that the untraceable nature of these specific crypto tokens could allow foreign networks, including alleged connections to suspicious networks in Pakistan, to completely bypass official sanctions or launder money. The inherent anonymity of decentralized finance means anyone, anywhere can buy these tokens. Intelligence analysts are concerned that hostile foreign actors or sanctioned individuals could theoretically pump money into these platforms to curry favor with the administration or clean illicit funds, creating a massive national security blind spot.
In response to all these conflict of interest allegations, the president's stated perspective is very clear. He says he is simply participating in a booming capitalist economy that his administration helped foster. When questioned by reporters, he firmly defended his financial gains, arguing that his policies drove the stock market to record highs, which benefits retirement funds across the whole country. In his view, since he entered office already possessing significant capital, it makes complete sense that his wealth grows right alongside the broader American economy. Furthermore, his administration maintains a strong defense regarding the trading activity. They state that these 5,000-plus trades were strictly executed by third-party financial advisors in closed accounts, not by the president himself. The White House argues that large financial institutions manage this money independently, meaning the president isn't sitting at the Resolute desk hitting buy and sell on his phone. They maintain he acts entirely in the interest of the American public, totally separated from the daily mechanics of his portfolio. But critics heavily contrast this defense with the historical precedent of a blind trust. Historically, a blind trust was used to completely separate a public official's duty from their private wealth. Think Jimmy Carter putting his family peanut farm into a blind trust, so the public would never doubt his motives. Critics argue that even if third parties are executing the trades, the ethical firewall is completely defeated if the president knows exactly which proprietary crypto tokens his family owns and what specific sectors his accounts are heavily invested in.
So what does this all mean for us? It leaves us with an absolutely critical question about modern democracy. Can the ultimate public servant also be an active billionaire trader? We are in completely uncharted territory here. With a 927-page portfolio spanning meme coins, AI stocks, and global real estate, the traditional rules of presidential ethics are being tested like never before. As you digest all this data we've covered today,
Ask yourself, is this simply the new reality of a capitalist leader, or does it fundamentally change what it means to hold the highest office in the land? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep questioning the data.